right. What's your name?
Brandy.
Randy. And what's your story?
I was conceived in a satanic ritual. My biological father is a high priest Satanist to this day. 63 years old, about to be 64 on Mardi Gras, ironically. And I was bred to be one of the five brides of Satan. And when the domestic violence against my mom didn't kill me, they resorted to having an abortion, which I still didn't die. Because though my body was lifeless when the procedure was over, the nurse was getting ready to pick the pan up that had my body in it. And she realized when my arm shot up that I was still alive. So they sought medical care. And I still have physical problems from it. I have severe brain damage, cerebral palsy, and a list of other stuff. But I also, at the age of 19, was raped by a bisexual with STDs. And when I tried to get an unwed mother's home through the church I was going to, they rejected me because I was a church member pregnant out of wedlock, and being raped didn't matter. So I felt like, okay, my life didn't matter, my child's life didn't matter, what else is there to do? Because these people had these big pro-life rallies in front of the governor's mansion every year, so I didn't think me needing help would cause a problem. Because I was close to the pastors and their families and everything else. So when they turned me down, I felt like there was nowhere else to turn but have an abortion, even with my pelvic area being deformed the way it is from how I got into the world. So when I scheduled my abortion appointment, the guy that was doing it was a medical resident, and he was supposed to do a partial birth abortion type situation, but when he suctioned my child's brains out, her nerves was still functioning, so he turned her in utero and decapitated her. The last memory I have of my baby was her head hitting the steel can. That was May 2003, and I've never forgotten it. For a few years after that, as a medical assistant, I worked in an abortion facility where I was charged with being a POC tech, which is basically a product of conception, where you make sure that when an abortion is done, you not only assist in an abortion, when it's done, you make sure all the body parts are present and none was left in the woman. The feet, the legs, the arms, the head, the whole body. And it killed me doing that, but I was desensitized, and at the point I felt like God hated me anyway. I was going to hell anyway, so, I might as well go out with a bang. So, one night I was sitting in front of my computer talking to a friend of mine in California, and in the middle of a suicide attempt where I seen the gates of hell wide open. And it just so happened the guy that I was watching, and my friend told me to watch, he was singing the song that's associated with one of the pro-life groups that I had just got back from Wichita praying at an abortionist's clinic. So it caught my attention. And all of a sudden the words changed to the song, and he was talking about baby, a mom that was letting a baby live, and it, explaining exactly the form of suicide I was attempting. And it scared the living daylights out of me because my friend that I was talking to didn't even know this. So I'm like, okay, God's trying to get my attention, I better listen. Then when he said that abortion didn't cost you your salvation, that's when I just pulled everything out of my arm and, cleaned the blood up and everything. And I'm like, God, I'm sorry. Got myself straight, and I've been crazy ever since.